Geshegu Sembatia to bring you this morning's news update live here on channel 44. Well, we'll start with what's happening around us. In Uganda here, Museveni warns UPDF officers over brutality. President Museveni, 65 historicals awarded medals in today's New Vision, page 1, page 5. Get yourself a copy and you will get to know details of this story. Sections of Kampala flyover opened. The Uganda National Roads Authority has temporarily opened sections of the Kampala flyover to traffic and announced traffic flow changes from January 31st to May 2nd this year. In today's New Vision, also savers access 3.5 billion shillings illegally, according to the NSSF probe that is brought to you by the New Vision. Respect your culture. The Archbishop of Kampala, Paul Semogiriri, has urged Christians to respect their culture as it does not clash with religion. This was during the last funeral rites for the late Archbishop Dr. Cyprian Chizitoranga. The Chief Justice Alfonso Winnie-Dolo is seen decorating President Yoweri Museveni with the Katonga Medal, the highest military award in the Uganda Honours System, during the 42nd Tarehe Sita celebrations at Kacheka Stadium in Mbarara district. Present also was the First Lady of Uganda and Minister of Education and Sports, Mrs. Janet Museveni. Experts want to scrap PLE in today's New Vision. Off to the Daily Monitor. Schools register low turn up on first day. Parents and educationists that were interviewed yesterday attributed the low turn up to lack of school fees occasioned by hard economic times and the scrapping of beginning of term exams. In today's Daily Monitor, Umeme bosses eye 1 trillion shillings in payout. The government is set to pay out the money in the early months of 2025 when Umeme's 20-year concession comes to its natural end. The IGG says we shall call Byarugaba on SSF. On NSSF, Miss Betty Kamya told journalists yesterday that Mr. Byarugaba has not been engaged because they don't always begin by inviting the main suspect. In today's Daily Monitor, there are deals at different places at UNRA, Trademark, UNEB, UNHCR, Total, Water, National Water and Sewage Corporation. There are tenders in all those areas and more in today's Daily Monitor. Right now, allow me to take you straight into today's international news update. More than 100 people have been killed after militias attacked their village in northern Nigeria, according to residents, although the state government says the exact number is unknown. Witnesses told the press how there had been more than 48 hours of fighting between vigilantes and bandits since Thursday last week. It happened in Bakori, Katsina State, and officials there announced an inquiry on Friday and set a delegation to visit mourning villagers on Sunday. Yet, despite calling the situation tragic, Katsina State Secretary Haji Muntari Lawal is said to have told residents not to wait for government but to be courageous enough to confront the devil and finish them before they finish them. And in the Middle East, rescuers are battling heavy rain and snow as they race against the clock to find survivors of a devastating earthquake in southeast Turkey. More than 4,300 people were killed and 15,000 others injured in Turkey over the border in Syria when quake struck in the early hours of Monday. The World Health Organization has warned the toll may rise dramatically as rescuers find more victims. As daybreak, rescue teams are stepping up their search for survivors. Many people in the disaster zone have been too scared to go back into buildings. Syria's war-torn city of Aleppo is among the areas to have borne the brunt of a deadly earthquake, which also devastated parts of southern Turkey. More than 1,400 people have been reported dead so far in northern Syria following the quake. Emergency rescue teams said many buildings were damaged or destroyed and that people were trapped under the rubble. The region is home to millions of refugees displaced by civil war. Control of northern Syria is divided between the government, Kurdish-led forces, and other rebel groups, and they remain embroiled in conflict. In the Middle East, 5 Palestinian militants have been killed in an Israeli army raid near Jericho in the occupied West Bank. The armed wing of the Islamist movement Hamas said all those killed were its members. It is the latest in nearly nightly operations by the Israeli military targeting militants in the territory. The last 2 weeks have been a particularly bloody period with deadly Israeli raids and Palestinian attacks on Israel. The Israeli Defense Forces IDF said Sunday night's operation aimed to arrest a Hamas terrorist cell, which is said to be behind a gun attack last week on a restaurant near a Jewish settlement close to Jericho. No one was injured in the attack. Hamas, which controls the Gaza Strip, is less prominent in the West Bank, and Palestinian towns and villages there are mostly governed by Palestinian Authority PA, which is dominated by Hamas's secular rival Fatah. The raid, coupled with activity by a Hamas cell, is unusual in Jericho, which has a relatively high concentration of Fatah-loyal PA security forces. In the United Kingdom, a state-backed digital pound is likely to be launched later this decade, according to the Treasury and the Bank of England. Both institutions want to ensure the public has access to safe money that is easy to use in the digital age. Chancellor Jeremy Hunt said the central bank digital currency, CBDC, could be a new trusted and accessible way to pay. He said it will not be built until at least 2025. The Treasury Bank of England will formally start a consultation for the digital currency today. Cryptocurrencies are not backed by a central bank, and the value can shoot up and down rapidly. But while they may use technology similar to cryptocurrencies, such as the Bitcoin and Ethereum, the digital pound issued by the Bank of England would be less volatile, and 10 digital pounds will always be worth the same as 10 pounds in cash, according to the Treasury. And finally, a suspected Chinese surveillance balloon shot down off the U.S. coast was about 200 feet tall and carrying an airline-sized load. At a briefing yesterday, a U.S. defense official said the size and makeup of the object informed the decision not to shoot it down while it was over land. The U.S. is still working to recover debris over the coast of South Carolina. The remnants of the object, which the U.S. believed is a spy balloon, but China says is a weather monitoring device blown astray, have been collected from roughly 1,500 meters by 1,500 meters sized area, but it is thought debris is spread over a far larger site. Multiple fighter jets were involved in the operation to shoot it down, but only one U.S. Air Force F-22 took the shot at 14:39 local time on Saturday, days after it first appeared over U.S. territory. It sent debris hurtling down about 6 nautical miles off the U.S. coast. Well, that brings us to the end of this morning's news update. Thank you for watching Channel 44. We'll return at 12:45 with a fresh news update. Stay tuned to Channel 44. Before I sign out, I remind you that we are still helping the people of Karamoja. Join us once again by sending your seed to the numbers that will be availed during the services. Alternatively, you can come to the Miracle Center Cathedral during the revival nights and present your seed on the altar you'll be tremendously blessed. Or you can bring it at the Miracle Center Church reception, hand it over to the receptionist who will give you a receipt for accountability, and you will be tremendously blessed. The Pastors Now program is up next with the men of God that are here to encourage you and bring you testimonies of what the Lord is doing in this place. Stay tuned and enjoy your morning.